Loom Knit a thermal pie or dish carrier. This Loom Knit pie carrier is a must for your next picnic or when you have hot items coming from the oven or stove to your table or to a friend's house. This handy cotton tote fits a large pie plate or casserole dish, and the attached handle slides through the rings at the corners to close. It uses mercerized cotton, so it's fully heat proof and washable. This project is loom knit on a fine gauge loom, so the fabric is nice and thick and strong. You can make it 1 ply or 2 ply for a thermal dish carrier. All right, join me today and I'll show you how to assemble yours. Welcome to GoodKnit Kisses. We're all about helping you stitch your love and love your stitches. To get the written instructions for this pattern, please click down in the video description and the link below. We also have links to our right and left-handed video tutorials on how to make this square and also how to make the linen stitch handle. Now the cast on for the handle and the cast on for the squares will be spelled out in our carrier pattern, so you're going to have to go there to get that information. We also have our loom mentioned there and the yarn that you're going to need. This video here is going to be the assembly video. So first you're going to want to go ahead and make your handle and leave a couple of long tails so that you can use that for sewing. And then you're going to want to make your 2 large squares. You can make 1 if you're just going to do a soft carrier, or you make 2 of them to make it thermal. And go ahead and weave in all your tails on the square. And the tails on the handle are going to be used to sew the handle in. You're going to need some extra yarn for sewing around the edges, but also sewing on these D-rings. So go ahead and grab your tapestry needle and your extra yarn, make your things, and come back and we'll assemble this together here. All right, so you've made your square and you've blocked it. I wet blocked mine, or actually I steam blocked it, and then I pinned it and I let it sit there for several hours until it was dry. I actually stretched it out till about 18 inches and set it with pins and then waited till it was dry, and it kind of draws up on itself, but it's more square after that. So that's just a quick tip. So once you have your square with everything woven in and it's blocked, now you can add on your handle. So go ahead and lay across your handle, and I made mine in contrast B, which is the purple, so I'm going to kind of just lay this right across here. I like the bind off side towards the contrast B. It just has a clean edge to it. Now we're not going to be technical on where we put this because I didn't have you do any kind of increases or decreases, so you could just lay it right across the seam and have this little tip showing, so it still retains that sort of corner look. So you just put it flat on here and start sewing onto on the right side, or this is going to be the outside. So here's the back, or the wrong side here. So we're going to just sew right on the top and put your needle through and go ahead and just go around the outside corner here and come back through and pull up, so that's secure. And then you can just go from the top side down to the back. I'm going to go in 1 stitch in and then come up. I'm just going to come up through the corner again and kind of double stitch these so it's nice and firm. So now I'm going to come over a little bit past where I had went before, come down. I'm just going straight down through and then come up, kind of coming back just a little bit. You can sew it in really however you like. This is just what I'm doing to make sure it's really secure. And I'm going to come over a few stitches, go down, and I've lost my tail. Mine is cut a little shorter than what I tell you on the pattern. On the pattern, I tell you to cut it about 9 to 12 inches. So anyway, I'm going to just kind of come back up and keep stitching through all of these ends here, or this very end of the handle. Oops. And let's see, make sure it comes to the other side, so it just leaves that tip of the corner. And then we're going to repeat that on the other side. Make sure you get those corners matching up. You come around the outside and shore that up and come back down if you like. And then you can just weave in your tail into the back here. Just go through several of these stitches and weave in your tail and then trim it. Oh, anyway, after I finish doing that, I'm going to trim that with my scissors here, and then we're going to repeat it on the other side. So go ahead and add in the rest of your handle, and then join me to put on the rings. See you in a moment. Okay, so it is time to attach the two 1-inch D rings on the corners as follows. You're going to attach one ring onto contrast A corner, and I'm going to attach it to the side of the garter stitches over on this corner over here. So we have the same matching yarn, and you're just going to start putting it through. You can just do like a whip stitch and go right around and maybe start a knot. You can weave in this tail here. Just going to secure that in. And then weave that tail in later. And so for now, just you can go around the ring and around the outside stitch here to sew it in. And this will get further sewn in again whenever you're stitching on your thermal, if you're doing 2 layers for a thermal one. And you can make your stitches closer. I'm just kind of going, separating them out basically with every garter stitch for now on the first pass, and then go back through and do it again, do another pass and come back down and fill in the gaps. Okay, so keep sewing that on, and then the one up here, let's just move the other side, and then on this end we'll use the same colored yarn, so contrast B, and then sew it on the end here, which looks like a cast on or a bind off. So this is actually the second yarn we did, so this is contrast B here, and this is the bind off. So we're going to sew it on to this end here. So I'll show you what that looks like when they get put together. I'll show you how this works here in a moment. So go ahead and finish sewing in these D rings, and then we'll sew on the thermal second layer. For double layer thermal tote only, this is where you are going to sew these two pieces together. So I actually have the single layer one complete, and I'll show you how to use this with your pie plate or casserole dish here at the end of the video. But for now, I want you to take what you've done for the thermal one, if you've made your second, and you're going to put it right on top. So we have the right side here, and then this one has the wrong side facing up. So we're putting wrong sides together, and I'm putting the same colors on the same side together. And you could turn it and spin it if you like. And of course you could have done a single color too. That's okay. So I'm just going to lay these together and then get my yarn, and we're going to be working with the same color along the side here. So you're going to need about 3 times the length here and 3 times the length here. Cut that off, and then you're just simply going to whip stitch just like we've been doing, going around. So you're going to start at the corner and come up through the corner, through both, pull through until you have a nice long tail, and that'll get woven in later on. And come through that corner one more time just for good measure. Okay, so now that that's secure, put your tail aside and start going through the same stitches. Just go 1 stitch in on both, through both fabrics, and you're going to go down, all the way down the fabric here. So just as you did the whip stitch on the D ring, you can sew it like that. Okay, that's really it. It's pretty simple. If you need help on weaving in your tails into garter stitch, we have a video on how to do that, and it follows the smiles and frowns or smiles and umbrellas on there. If you've ever heard me say that, that's the same way on all these all the tails that I say to sew in. I'm not going over it in this video because I'm going to assume that you know how to do that in this video. But if you don't, we do have that video available to you. So you're going to go ahead and sew in all of the like colors together, or the ends in this contrast A, and then work on the other ends in contrast B. Now, quick tip, if you're still with me, and you're gonna have to write tortilla down at the bottom. I'm curious if you're gonna do it. I'm in Texas, and I was telling someone about this project, and they're like, hey, you can make a tortilla holder. Some people do that. So what you could do is sew in 3 sides and leave an opening there so that if you wanted to, you could put some tortillas in here to stay warm for your little thermal carrier. And hey, if you're serving fajitas or something, that would be a great little thing. You could install just a couple of buttons or toggles, or maybe even a zipper here. So that's completely up to you, but that it's a fun little alternative that for this carrier if you'd like. And because this is so large, you could put in some larger tortillas. So write tortilla if you saw that in our video. So go ahead and finish sewing those in. Pause your video. I will see you in a moment and show you how to put the casserole dish in here and use the handles and the rings. See you soon. All right, let me show you how to use it as a carrier. So I've already got everything sewn together, whether you have the single or you have the thermal double one, it works the same way. So if you want to store it, you can, fold it in half and quarters and put it away, or you could flip it over and use it for just a large hot pad. But when you're ready to use it as a carrier, make sure it's flipped up with the strap on the top or the handle on the top. Put your pie plate in. And I'm just using it clear so you can see it, but you can use a regular pie plate that may not be glass. And you're going to take the strap and pull it through one of the D-rings, okay? And then pick up the next D-ring and pull it through like that too. So now you have loops, and you can pull tighter on your handle, and then just pick it up and take it with you. So this can just carry to your vehicle or go walk it over to your table, whatever you like. And of course this is washable, and I would make sure it's clean before it's going to lay on top of an open pie plate here, or you can cover the pie. But you just open it back up by unhooking it, and it's ready to go. Let's see what it looks like with a larger casserole dish. So this is a large, I'm not going to say the name brand, you may know this brand, but this is a nice deep casserole dish or side dish. It's a large one. Put your strap on top, grab one of the D-rings and pull the handle through and tighten. And you can grab the opposite D-ring and pull the handle through that D-ring and tighten. And it is strong enough to hold it. And so you can carry this out to the car. You can make a couple of these and take some hot dishes out to your vehicle, take it wherever, or just transport it to your dinner table. And it's just that simple. And then when you're ready to store it away, you can simply fold it in half and slip it in your drawer, so a long drawer, or fold it in half again. It's just going to be really thick. So I suggest you even just turn it over, and you can use it as a nice large trivet on your table, or even put it on a Lazy Susan because it's very large. Well, I hope you've enjoyed using this tutorial for your assembly of your pie carrier. Thanks again for joining me at GoodKnit Kisses. Thanks for joining us today, where we help you stitch your love and love your stitches. See you again soon.